Hello everyone, welcome to another video of mine. It's Commander Blay, and this is another Chelsea transfer news daily video for you guys, where I'll keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news in the past 24 hours. Some big developments, some big news stories regarding Upamecano from RB Leipzig, how Chelsea might be activating his release clause. We'll be delving into those reports, giving my thoughts and opinions. We'll also be discussing the managerial situation once again, as there has been another update. Chelsea have made a managerial shortlist should Lampard be dismissed in the coming weeks and games, and touching upon a bit of the Morecambe game towards the end as well, giving my score prediction, my thoughts into that game, giving my thoughts on who should play, the type of players that I want to see from the development squads. It's going to be quite interesting tomorrow. But before I do get into all the news, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's Chelsea transfer news video for you guys. Now, starting off with the biggest news of this news story, and that is Upamecano. Now, I'll be honest, this one came out of the blue. This one did, we all thought that he was Bayern Munich bound. Multiple clubs are interested in his signature. We all know who Upamecano is. We've been interested for a long time now. RB Leipzig central defender, centre-back, tremendous, world-class potential, French international. And essentially this news story is broken by the Mail Online Sport. Now, they can be quite credible. They're not the most reliable outlet, but they can be quite credible. Some of their journalists are quite reliable, and they're basically stating that Chelsea are ready to join the summer chase for RB Leipzig defender Upamecano. Upamecano signed a new deal with RB Leipzig last year, which contains a release clause around £40 million. Now, when you delve into the article, there isn't too much detail. However, the most important part is the release clause. Now, as I've just said there, he has recently signed a brand new contract. Now, a lot of players do this at smaller clubs to essentially insert a release clause, or basically hold their value, to be helpful to clubs, to hold their value. So, smaller clubs can actually get the max amount of value for their best, most prized assets, their best clients. Now, this happened with Timo Werner. Timo Werner signed a brand new, essentially a brand new 4-year contract only a couple of years ago at RB Leipzig, so he can increase his value. And inside there, they inserted a release clause which Chelsea activated in the past summer just gone. Now, the same thing can be said for Upamecano. He's recently signed a new deal where his agent has inserted a release clause, in this case £40 million, which any top European club outside of Germany, this is the key part, can essentially activate. Now, that £40 million release clause is only available to clubs outside of Germany. So meaning Bayern Munich cannot activate that release clause, and it looks like Bayern Munich are really interested in signing him. Now, they're going to have to pay full price. They're going to have to actually negotiate directly with RB Leipzig to essentially sign Upamecano, whereas like to Chelsea, Arsenal, United, PSG, the other clubs that are interested, they can just directly, activate that release clause of £40 million and the player's yours, essentially. Essentially what we did with Timo Werner. You not necessary to negotiate with the club, you directly negotiate with the agent and the player itself and persuade that player that your club, your project is the right one for him, essentially. Now, what are my thoughts and opinions? Now, for me, let's not get too excited. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on him as a player, but on these reports, let's not get too excited. I want to see more credible, more reliable reports support this. But it's promising. We do need a centre-back. It's a position that we do need to strengthen, in my opinion. We've been looking at Jose Jimenez. His release clause is astronomical. Yes, we have 5 centre-backs, but Rudiger is likely going to be sold. Tomorrow needs some game time. He'll probably leave Chelsea at the same time. Christensen, we don't know the situation with him. And Thiago Silva's 36 years of age. He's not going to be here forever. He might not, we might extend his contract, so he'll be here next year, but he can't play every 3-4 days. So we need a consistent world-class centre-back that can play there. And I think Upamecano is a perfect centre-back, good, valuable, good, reasonable price of £40 million compared to the other targets that we're looking at. I think that he's much better than Declan Rice. I don't think he's as good as Jimenez yet, but Jimenez is in his prime. He's a lot more experienced. And again, don't forget, Upamecano is very, very young. He's got a very high ceiling. He's not the finished article. He's only going to grow, develop, improve on a consistent basis. And we'll have to wait and see. But for me, he's a terrific player. He's only got room to grow. And I think that Chelsea is a perfect club for his development. And he can be a world-class centre-back for sure. And I think that, as I said, he's a top player. He's got fantastic attributes. He's fast. He's quick. He's a monster in the air, just like Kurt Zouma. He's got really good ball-playing abilities. As I made that tactical analysis video on Julian Nagelsmann, ball-playing centre-backs are key to Nagelsmann's system, because with likes of, Konate and Upamecano, they make those driving, charging runs into midfield, and they start attacks with those, those darting runs into the centre midfield. So Upamecano is comfortable on the ball. He's got good ball-playing abilities. He's strong. He's commanding. He's young. And yeah, again, French international as well. He's looking to make it into the French team. I think that he's a perfect player. Yes, he has some weaknesses, but again, he's young. He's going to develop. He's going to improve. He's not the finished article, and I think that it's only a matter of time until Upamecano improves. But as I said, for me, I'd definitely take him at Chelsea, 100%. Again, reasonable price, great attributes, high ceiling, fantastic player, cheap price. Yeah, 100%. I think that under the correct manager, he will develop into a world-class centre-back for sure. I would love Upamecano at Chelsea. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. Would you take Upamecano at Chelsea, or do you prefer a different centre-back? And if so, who? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But moving on to the managerial situation once again. It seems I'm doing an update, on the Chelsea news daily on the manager situation, and it's necessary. I know some of you guys don't like it. I understand it. A lot of you guys Lampard didn't, and I respect it. Again, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Just like how I'm entitled to my opinion, everyone is. I love to have a debate with you guys. But, it is a situation we need to speak about because, as I said, he's on the brink of being sacked. No one can deny that. All the reliable journalists, all the reliable reports are saying that he is close to being sacked. Yes, he's been given one last opportunity, but it's not looking good for him. It's not. Now, on the managerial situation, there has been a shortlist made by the club, by the Chelsea hierarchy. Those 5 names are as goes, not in chronological order, not in any order at all, just not first choice. So this is just in random order. Max Allegri, Julian Nagelsmann, Ralf Rangnick, who is the current RB Salzburg manager. We also have Thomas Tuchel at the same time, and also Ralph Hasenhüttl, who is the Southampton manager. And the reason why I have included Diego Simeone as a question mark is because Diego Simeone the other day had an interview. He had an interview, a Spanish reporter. Atletico Madrid got knocked out in a Spanish Cup game, but it was by a very, very small team. It was in like the second or third division in Spain, so it was quite poor. It was a shock result essentially. And in the interview, he was asked, and he said something along the lines of, it was in translation. Any of my Spanish subscribers, please tell me if I'm right. He was basically saying that this won't happen again because he might not be it, and then that led to a lot of intensive rumours, intense articles saying that he's moving away from Atletico, he wants to leave, and that he's actually interested in signing for a Premier League club, which is interesting because again, Chelsea, out of the top 6 clubs in the Premier League, are the ones most likely at this moment in time are needing of a manager. United, they're at a title race. Oli, they're going well. Arteta seems that he's turned things around, 3 wins on the bounce. Pep Guardiola, Klopp are obviously safe at their clubs. Mourinho just recently signed for Tottenham. They're doing quite well this season. So it's really Chelsea that are in need of a manager, especially with the results and performances this season. And again, that's why I put Diego Simeone as a question mark. The other managers, I've made tactical analysis videos on them. They will continue tomorrow evening, although you will see a review for the Morecambe game tomorrow. Again, Thomas Tuchel, as you know, is my first choice. He's a free agent. We've got Hasenhüttl. I've made a tactical analysis video. We've got Ralf Rangnick. He could be next on my tactical analysis video, the current RB Salzburg manager. And of course, we've got Julian Nagelsmann. We've got so many names. And Chelsea haven't made a definite decision. They haven't got a plan, but they're making phone calls. That is according to Simon Johnson, who obviously writes for The Athletic. So we'll have to wait and see how these reports develop. But one thing is for sure, it looks like the shortlist has been made. The phone calls are continuing, but just not a definite plan on who's first choice. Just the club haven't decided who's first choice. We've just got a list of names, a short list of potential managerial candidates. But that's about it as far as it goes. Now, moving on to the final part, that is the Morecambe game. Tomorrow we take on Morecambe at Stamford Bridge in the FA Cup in our 3rd round game. Again, it's going to be a dead rubber game. Even without a manager, we could have Beetlejuice managing our team, we'd still win. No disrespect to Morecambe. We could have you as manager. Any of you watching now, you could be manager of Beat Morecambe. I want to see a lot of young players play. There's some development players coming through as well. I would like to see the likes of Billy Gilmore starting as well. Hudson-Odoi getting a full 90. Tomori hopefully should get some game time with Christensen being ruled out of the game as well. I want to see Livramento. I want to see Ian Maitson playing as well. I want to see a lot of youngsters developing this game. There is no reason why we should not be winning and progressing into the 4th round of the FA Cup. If needs be, stick some senior experienced players on the bench if needs be. But I want to see some development players. I want to see them get a full 90 under their belt. I want to see some, really young players mixed in with some senior players who will do the job. We're at home, we're at Stamford Bridge against Morecambe, a lower division team. We should get we should progress into the next round. We should. There is no reason we should. And I'll say this now, if we do not progress and we somehow get knocked out tomorrow, which is not impossible, by the way, because, in life, nothing is impossible. And of course, especially in the FA Cup, shocks do happen. We saw Bradford a few years back. But if Morecambe beat us, just know that Lampard is gone. That man is finished, honestly. But as I said, we should, no matter how bad we are right now in form, we'll definitely swipe away Morecambe. That's my personal opinion. Score prediction, I'm going 4-0 Chelsea. What do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But if you did enjoy this video, to smash like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.